The date is October 27th, 2017. The album is Pacific Daydream from Weezer. This is the Wet Bandits podcast.
2, 3. I got a story. The story once was told. 2 young boys go into the liquor store where they sold their souls. And I got a story. Dude, no.
I forget how weird this makes me.
Dude, do you think the album?
When this comes out, I'm Weezie. You are.
Slammy B.
We're 40% of the Wet Bandits, the greatest 90s cover band in the world. We like to cover 90s discographies and see how bands change throughout time. This is the intro. Maybe we'll have to time travel this back to the beginning. I think we will. All right? Dude, let's
last
solve
time it
it.
made me sick, dude.
Well, and you haven't been sleeping, and you
I
have
know.
half a pizza in your belly.
Yeah.
But you know what?
We're going to do it.
We have to do it. Okay, are you ready?
The people of the world are depending on us.
Yes. Let's send this back in time
All right.
to the beginning. Ready?
Yep.
Time machine. Ready? Go.
Dude, no.
I forget how weird this makes me.
Dude, do you think the album?
When this comes out. Hello and welcome to what is already a train wreck episode of the Wet Bandits podcast. Sam, you don't know what was going on over here, but I was trying to work a new system involving fixing my mic situation. And now, as you can see, as I lift the microphones into view, I was not able to fix that. I was trying to run you out of a Kindle for the Zoom meeting. And so the audio from the music and your voice wouldn't have to be on the same channel. And then the Kindle, like as soon as I turned it on this morning, the audio was like, so that wasn't going to work. We couldn't have that. Oh, hold on. I accidentally hit the mic mute button on the computer. How'd that happen? Now say something. What? Oh, and I turned the volume all the way down. Now, now we're good. Now I can.
Hello.
Yeah, you know why I couldn't hear you before? It's because I was trying to avoid the hard pause that we had in the last episode. What's the last episode we did? Damn, doing these out of order.
Hurley.
Yeah, Hurley and Death to False Metal, like we did out of order. So that is what happened. Anyway, we are on a time crunch. We're on a time crunch, and we're fighting the same stupid Zoom problems that probably everybody has that does stuff like this now. Though a lot of our podcast comrades out there on Instagram and I don't know, the podcast sites or whatever, they're just not doing it. But some people aren't as strong as us. Our podcast power.
Podcast power.
Yeah, our podcast power is real strong. We just keep plowing through.
Oh, yeah, we do have a lot of podcast power.
Sending out shitty content. Okay. At least poor sounding, maybe.
So do you think like Superman has something crazy to do every day? No. It's only like once every 6 months that like Lex Luthor comes around.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Like, on the rest of the days, he's just like saving cats and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
right now, we're more in cat mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, I do. Before we get started, I was talking as I was testing the audio. I was talking about my asshole neighbor Jeff, and I just want to ask you your opinion. So,
Yeah.
he's actually my across the street neighbor, and he drives a big F-150. And his wife, actually, they're not married, but his girlfriend, live-in girlfriend, is real nice. He always parks his fucking truck so that it takes up as much space on the curb in front of their house as possible. You could easily fit 2 big cars or 2 big trucks or like 3 sedans on the curb.
Mm-hmm.
But he purposely parks his truck like smack in the middle of the curb, so no one can park in front or behind him. So Jill, the nice lady who lives there, told my wife flat out that Jeff, because they live there, Jeff says that is their spot. This is street parking, mind you. Told my wife, Jeff says this is their spot and nobody else should be able to park there anyway. So that's okay. I think Jeff is like the world's biggest asshole. Who is right? Am I right or is Jeff right?
Dude, Jeff's right. You're the asshole.
I did used to, sometimes he would make a mistake and he'd be backed up just a little too far. And I know this is illegal technically, but I would just back up so that my car was like half a centimeter in front of his car. And I could still fit my car in there. And the only way you can do that is to do the little love tap. Like you purposely touch them. Which you know, people freak out about that, but like I'm not doing damage to either car. It's not worth doing damage to my car to do that, but
that's what bumpers are for.
That's what I say. That's what bumpers are for, but people get pissed off anyway, so but yeah, so maybe that makes me an asshole, but he's maybe a bigger asshole. I'm glad we said that.
I'm kidding.
I know. Well, it makes me an asshole that I have to make my point still. You know, a normal person would just be like, oh, Jeff's an asshole, and then go about their day, but not me. Hey, let's get into it. We said October 27, 2017 is the release date for Pacific Daydream. Number one song on that day is Rockstar, not Nickelback. This is Rockstar, Post Malone, featuring 21 Savage. Don't know it. That was me being you. Don't know it.
I probably know it.
You probably do, I know. That's why I shouldn't have said that. Number one mainstream rock song. I have to admit, I don't know how you're supposed to say this. Well, it's parentheses Medicate, the theory of a dead man, and it's the prescription symbol, like RX. Is that what you're supposed to call it, RX?
I think so.
All right, there it is, RX, parentheses.
The RX album.
Medicate, theory of a dead man. All right, top 5 albums. These are as interesting as ever, okay? Here we go. Number 1, Live in No Shoes Nation, Kenny Chesney.
Don't know it.
Yeah, and I've never heard Kenny Chesney talk about it, so I don't know if it's a live album called Live in No Shoes Nation, because the Billboard website doesn't have punctuation with it, so it's not like live, in No Shoes Nation, or live, in No Shoes Nation. And there's no like hyphen between no and shoes. So here's what I'm getting at. Is it a live album in No Shoes Nation, or is it a command? Hey, live in No Shoes Nation. Or live in no shoes, nation. Like a command. Like, because Kenny Chesney is obviously big on, he likes bare feet, I guess.
Sounds like a studio album.
You think? Commanding you to live in No Shoes Nation? Yeah. Honestly, that's what I thought it was at first. And now that you've said it, I'm like, well, maybe I was right all along. Maybe it's just live in No Shoes Nation. But God forbid I should look that up before we record and actually know. I just like to leave these open-ended questions. It makes way for great, interactive social media content. When people can be like, you idiot, it's live in No Shoes Nation.
Yeah, it sounds like a message.
It does. You're right.
Not
a advertisement that it's a live album.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 2, Meaning of Life, Kelly Clarkson. That one went under my radar. Oh, my baby's awake. I hear her crying. Well, Corinne's with her, so that means I have probably a half an hour. 37 minutes, tops. Then we have Heartbreak on a Full Moon, Chris Brown. So that guy's beating up women and still topping the charts. Well, not topping, 3.
He's still in the conversation.
Yep, still in the conversation. Number 4, Without Warning, 21 Savage, Offset, and Metro Boomin. I don't know it. And number 5 is Stoney, Post Malone. So, go ahead.
Do you think like artists nowadays are just like all the good names are taken.
Sometimes. Yeah, I guess I'll go with Metro Boomin. Two words is definitely better than one. So I'll be somebody took Metro and someone took Booming. He's like, I'll be Metro Boomin. I'll take
Yeah.
that. I'll slap that G off. Put an
They're
apostrophe.
like, dude, I want to be Sting. I'm like, dude, Sting's already taken.
Long gone. You can't have Sting.
I want to be Slash.
Mm.
Dude, Slash is gone, bro. All the S's gone.
That is a problem. But I don't know. They're still coming up with. They're coming up. The answer is to do what 21 Savage did and start putting numbers in your name.
Yeah.
Then you can use all kinds.
Yeah.
I wasn't prepared for you to say that. There is someone that I was noticing recently whose name is like exactly the same as some other guys, but I that's a bad story because I can't think of who it is. I'll just cover that up with Pacific Daydream came in at number 23 that week. So a poorly performing album for Weezer, commercially anyway.
I was not a fan of this one, man.
No, I wasn't going into it, and I've become a little more of a fan, but I think I'm influenced a little bit by our Instagram Bandits because I scroll through their stuff and like these Weezer fans who are still Weezer fans, like people who like new Weezer seem to like Pacific Daydream, and it gave me a little bit more. It didn't really give me perspective. It was more like, why do they like this? Because I was going into this being like, here comes the worst one. Here comes the one that I don't like. And I like it better now. I still don't know where it'll rank, but I do like it better. One thing I must do, because go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I'm not trying to shit on you. Like you said, this is like probably on my list.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Van Weezer will be terrible, but but it's probably not. It's probably going to be rad.
Yeah.
So I have not talked. I've been meaning to talk about this for many episodes because I have these funny pictures to use for it, but I finally got a portable CD player that works for my car. It came like 2 days ago. So because of my wreck in my car that we talked about in the Ratitude episode, I had to get a new car. New cars don't come with CD players anymore. And I tried to like do the digital music thing and like use my Bluetooth on my phone or this or that. And it's just not as easy to access albums. And if you've listened to this podcast before, you probably already know they don't sound as good. The MP3s with lower bit rates don't sound as good as so I wanted a CD player. The first one I got skipped like as soon as I hit the gas pedal. So like they don't make good CD players anymore. I finally found one that's pretty decent at a reasonable price. But the point of the story really isn't about that. It's more about what I would find as I was searching for CD players, like the pictures that Amazon will use or whoever will use is they clearly can't get a model. They can't pay someone to take a picture with the CD player. What they do is they take this picture of a person like having fun and then they copy and paste a CD player with them. They look so stupid. They look so unrealistic. Like there's one picture of like a 5-year-old girl like lying on her bed with her headphones and apparently listening to the CD player, but the CD player is open. So you can see. There's another one where it's like on the dashboard of a car and it's like straight up and down. Like it couldn't possibly be resting on the dashboard the way it is. So we'll put those up on Instagram because they're funny. And you can also,
looking forward to it.
Yes, there's also like a party of 4 people like sitting there like jamming to their portable CD player or whatever. And anyway, we'll leave it for you to see, but they're terrible. They're all terrible. So I'm glad we got that out of the way because I've been meaning to bring it up because I got these pictures for it and I haven't brought it up in an episode yet. So there you go. And it ended up
Yeah.
working out. The perfect reminder was that a CD player that worked actually showed up. So that was the good reminder.
What CDs have you been listening to?
I've only put one in it. The new Pearl Jam album.
Oh, is it good?
No.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Oh boy. I mean, we're gonna do Pearl Jam one day, I'm sure. And maybe it'll be kind of, I don't know, man. It's not good. I don't think it's the worst, but it's not good. Anyway, so here we go.
Here we go.
This album, there's not really that much info out there on Pacific Daydream. It's just another album they did with Crush Management that they released. As we've mentioned before, Weezer was putting together the Black Album, which is supposed to be like a darker release. And in doing that, Rivers ended up writing songs that fit better for something like this. And apparently that just came together faster. And so they were like, we're gonna put the brakes on the Black Album. We're gonna release this first. So you get Pacific Daydream here. What I will say, even though I'm not like surprised you don't like it, because I'm not a huge fan either, but I am a little surprised, only because I think this one ranks pretty high up there with like the Red Album for the least Weezer sounding. But maybe the problem is that they take away too much of the good Weezer. And
yeah. There's only like one or two songs that rock.
Yes, that's it. Like these are all very easy listening, I would say.
But it kind of fits that trend of like where music was at that time, like where rock was.
Yeah.
Like popular rock, I
Sure.
guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. So the very first song, Mexican Fender, is based on Rivers' interactions with Katie Goodman of La Sera, which, don't be embarrassed if you don't know that band, because I didn't either, but she is on Wikipedia. She has her own page, so relatively famous. What I'm interested about with that song is Mexican Fender sounds kind of romantic, but she's been married for a while. So I wonder if this was written a long time ago, or I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about the romantic part. So anyway.
What sounds romantic, like the lyrics or the music?
The lyrics, I think. We'll just kick it off with that. Here we go.
Met her at a guitar shop on Santa Monica and 7th Street. The salesman tried to get my attention to sell me a Mexican Fender. She came to get her 10,000 steps and hang out with her boyfriends. But I was only trying to get to know her, so I took her out to the ocean. It was hot, 100 degrees, but she only went in up to her knees. She didn't want to take off her jeans, cause that would be insane. My summer love, my summer love. Oh, she loves me, she loves me, she loves me not. Oh, she loves me, she loves me, she loves me not.
So I kind of like that one, actually.
Yeah, me too.
And I like to talk about these in the context of like what your thoughts were when you first listened to it. And when I got this album and I put that in, I was like, oh, hey, I kind of like this one. Not a single. They did release a video for it, which in this day and age kind of makes it a single, but it wasn't apparently like an official single.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like that song. And it definitely has a romantic sound to it, whether or not it was written like long ago, or whether he took their interactions that was in a platonic context and made it for the song in a romantic context. Like, it doesn't really matter, but that was just a little bit of backstory behind it. there isn't a whole lot to add about many of these, you know.
Yeah,
So
they're kind of. I like the. I don't know, just like Weezer's approach to music. They just change it up all the time and keep it fresh.
yeah,
And they don't care if it's risky or not. They'll release whatever they think they should release.
right. Yeah, that's true. Which that's true, and something that I think people don't miss because their music doesn't sound dangerous. You know, it's relatively like mom and dad friendly. You know, I think I've said before, like my parents weren't worried about me being depressed when I'd listen to Weezer, but but to your point, that doesn't make it like less risky. It's just not like thrash or whatever, or grunge at all. The next song is Beach Boys, which is an ode to the Beach Boys, but it's kind of interesting. Rivers purposely made this song sound, or chose this set of music as the least Weezer sounding on the album to make it, to write this song off of.
The sun won't shine tonight. Metro screaming by, walking with the Mexicans. Should I call an ambulance? We need a melody, a gorgeous four-part harmony, so it all makes sense. There's gotta be more than this. Everyone wants to be cooler than everyone else. It's a hip-hop world, and we're the furniture. Let's get out of the city. Let me tell you about a band I loved when I was a West Side kid. Turn it up, it's the Beach Boys, singing out in a sweet voice, on a roll like a twist toy. Keep cracking them Beach Boys. Turn it up, it's the Beach Boys, making my eyes get moist. Hold them up, let them point. Keep cracking them Beach Boys. What you wanna do tonight? I'll make it all happen. Mixing up OJ.
I actually kind of like that one too. Yeah, you give it at least a little bit of a thumbs up, or thumbs side, little bit.
Yeah.
The two singles on the album follow that. That's Feels Like Summer and Happy Hour. Feels Like Summer is like dance music, right? Let's play a little bit of that here.
Climbing up the tower, just a boy and his computer. I'm still in my bathrobe, hiding in the shadows. I'm not used to losing. Bye bye, sugar blue eyes. You're home with the angels. Thank you for being so kind. I'm holding on, and I don't wanna let you go. Yeah, it feels like summer. 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 And she was a lover to me, to me, to me, to me.
So that's not the worst thing in the world. It's just all right, right?
Dude, you want me to tell you about my dream?
Yeah.
So I had a dream that like I was hired by Kiss to like play a concert,
Sure.
and they're like, "No, dude, you're supposed to learn this set, not this one." I'm like, "The fuck are you talking about, Gene?" And I went on stage and I just like,
Did your own thing.
yeah.
Good. Just not playing with the band at all.
Oh, I played with the band.
Oh, okay. They were okay with you doing.
No, Gene was pissed, as he should be.
Yeah. Well, whose fault do you think it was? Do you think they gave you the wrong set, or do you think you screwed up?
I probably screwed up,
Well, that's good of you to, you know.
unless they were out to get me.
Yeah. Which would be an odd thing to do if they hired you. But
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're after you.
Doesn't mean they're not after you, I believe. Is the
Oh yeah,
phrase.
yeah.
but we knew what you meant.
Uh-huh.
So Happy Hour was the second single, and
Yeah.
this is the one that gets a lot of support from the aforementioned fans of the podcast that I find on Instagram. Like Weezer fans like Happy Hour, the song anyway. Maybe not the activity.
Who doesn't like Happy Hour?
Fools. So the thing here is that Happy Hour kind of like signals, like this is what the rest of the album is going to be. It's going to be like drum machines, drum machine sounds, or samples. Patrick Wilson is playing, I'm sure, but like it has that like electronic sound, and there aren't going to be big guitars, and
which is kind of interesting because they made this separate from the Black album, which kind of like. Well, I guess this is the light of their hip hop, and the Black album's like the dark.
Yeah, kind of. I have a similar feeling about that. I'm definitely gonna have to go back and listen to the Black album because we recorded that like first out of all these, and now I feel like I need to listen to it again to get like a different perspective on it. But I think the same thing. Like they don't sound that different to me. It's only in sort of like the ambiance of the song. But the instruments and the production sound very similar to me. This one is a little more guitar-y, like there's a lot of reverb and sort of like I can't think of a different word to use again, but ambiance again, like they're atmospheric. That's the word. The guitars are atmospheric in this one, which they're not as much in the Black album. I actually think the cover art for this is pretty appropriate with the like girl swinging in outer space. The guitars do sound like outer space.
Like delay?
Mm-hmm. Delay or heavy reverb or both. Like you probably know that I use a digital delay as my reverb, so it can kind of be the same thing sort of, but so who knows what exactly they're doing. But it sounds like they're in a gigantic hall when they record the guitars. Everything else seems very present, but everything else is like outer space, or the guitars are outer space. The last one that I feel like we have to mention is Weekend Woman, only because when I was reading up on the album, they were like, the opening riff gives a nod to the Zombies, It's the Time of the Season. And I was like, what? No. Do you know which song that is?
It's
the time of the season for love. So anyway, yes, that's the part that they actually, you can hear it. There is like a little send off to that song in here.
They should put that on Keel.
Hey, look who's here. This place is not my home. A change has got to come. Face hard with tears. How was I supposed to know the ABCs of love? Salvation lies within. Don't ask.
Apparently the verse for this song was also borrowed from a Green Album outtake called Burning Sun. So I don't know how Rivers could remember stuff that he had written 13 years earlier. I mean, he records all of it. That's how.
Yeah.
But why, he's like a music hoarder. Like, I hoard a lot of shit, but the problem with hoarding is that you keep all this stuff and you never go back and look at it again. You just kept it. Rivers apparently goes back and looks through that stuff.
He's like, oh, I had this idea on a Thursday in 1997.
Yeah.
It was raining.
Don't know why I never finished it. Let's use it. The rest of the songs are not all like complete duds or anything. But I think both for time's sake and because do you have anything left to say about these in particular?
Not in particular.
Yeah. The one thing I do like, I really like the last song. Which
one is that?
Any Friend of Diane's. That's the last song on here. I'm going to play a little bit of it just because I think it deserves a little play as a good album closer for Weezer.
Any friend of Diane's is a friend of mine. Any friend of Diane's is a friend of mine. Looking at Papa John's, always making good bread. Got a $20 tip on New Year's, and I moved out to LA. She drew me up a map with a fountain pen. She took me to Hermosa with the boys from round the way. And a friend of Diane's is a friend of mine. And a friend of Diane's is a friend of mine.
So I like that one. Truth be told, I like pretty much all of these. It's just like you said that none of them really rock. And I do want to rock, usually. At least a little. So I think we go to Cover Cut Hidden Gem, like now. And if there's any on there that we haven't covered yet, we'll play a little bit of the tune there. That seems like a better way to go through something like this, that we don't have a lot to say about it. I do feel like this is going to disappoint listeners who really like Pacific Daydream. That like we didn't
I'm
give
on
it.
the podcast.
Yeah, seriously. We'll do an episode just for this if you want to come on here and tell us why it deserved more time. First of all, I already mentioned we're on a bit of a time crunch. But second of all, it would be boring to listen to us say something about an album we have nothing to say about. So let's get to it. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Should I name all three?
No, do the cover first.
I said Happy Hour.
Because it's kind of a party tune, or why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both.
Yeah. I chose Mexican Fender. Because I just think it rocks the most. By the way, do you think he's talking about the Mexican? He says this salesman tried to get his attention to sell him a Mexican Fender. Do you think he means to sell me a piece of shit, or do you think Rivers means, they're down south and the Fender happened to be Mexican? Or is he knocking on Mexican Fenders is what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Do you know why I'm asking?
Like Strats?
Yeah, particularly Mexican ones. Because my Strat's a Mexican Strat.
Okay.
So
they're like the next...
Is he
they're
calling
like the mid-tier ones, right?
Yeah. Is he calling my guitar a piece of shit? I don't care if he is.
Dude.
My Strat sounds good, so I don't care if you...
Send a letter.
Come on the podcast, Rivers. Tell me, you calling my guitar a piece of shit? Okay. What would you cut?
I said Sweet Mary.
Dude, that was my second choice. Sweet Mary is the 7th cut. So Sweet Mary sounds a little like this. There's not much more to that song than that. It does build, of course. but it's kind of that same melody the whole time, which is a nice melody, and it's got like pianos and stuff, like different instrumentation, which I always appreciate. My problem with Sweet Mary is it doesn't ever really take off. It's like an airplane that's just strolling down the runway and never really gets enough speed to take flight. That's my problem. Yep.
It doesn't crash, but
yeah, I would say equally bad is QB Blitz, which that's my cut. Really, it was either Sweet Mary or QB Blitz, and I thought QB Blitz had the stupider name, so this is QB Blitz.
All of my conversations die a painful death, you see. I can't get anyone to do algebra with me. It's hard to make real friends. My friends have lots of friends. I don't hang out enough. Take drugs and learn to love. This intercom is broken into pieces. I gotta call my QB Blitz, B Blitz. Out on the ice fields of hope. I'll be missing you like oxygen, surgeon. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'll be missing you like oxygen.
So that QB Blitz, my problem is really just, it's really similar to Sweet Mary. The bass sound is actually pretty cool, but it's just, it's not ballady enough to be a ballad. It doesn't rock. It's just like boring with, in my opinion, a bad metaphor that is the name of the song and sort of like the driver of the imagery. Like, I just don't like it. So what do you got for your hidden gem? It can't be. I got to tell the listeners again, just in case it's your first episode in which I have to apologize, but the hidden gem is the song on the album, as I burp, is the song on the album that is not a single. So the best song on the album, not a single. So here you're looking at Feels Like Summer and Happy Hour are the singles. So what's your hidden gem?
I said Mexican Fender.
Mexican Fender. That, I think we kind of did it backwards this time. Because usually I'm the one who just picks a song I think rocks that wasn't a single, which is like, my instinct was to go with Mexican Fender. But I chose the one that's a little quirkier, but I still really like, which is Get Right. So here's a little of that one. I might fast forward a little bit to the good part. Here's a little fast forward move. So that's enough to get an idea. Like the thing I like about that one is in an album that's got a couple dance-ish tunes in it. That's the one that I could be like, I'd dance to that. You know, it's a little cool. It's a little Daft Punkier, I think, than some of the other ones. Not that that's the end all be all, but that's why I like it better. So that's my hidden gem. That song's called Get Right. La Mancha Screwjob is really good too. That's the 9th song. And if we played a little of that one, which I won't, just because I don't want to, but you should check out La Mancha Screwjob. That would be my second choice. Okay, let's play a little of it. Just because that'll give us a little bit of every song on the album. like that one too. This album is not terrible. Like, I'm actually probably going to listen to it more now. It's definitely
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's definitely the album I've listened to of theirs the least, and I need to give it another chance. But
Yeah.
so, well, this is a tight episode because,
Tight.
for one, you have to work soon, and I need to go watch a baby. So we only have one left. We're done recording Black already, so we only have Teal and Van Weezer left. Maybe we won't be on Zoom by the time we record those, but we probably will for Teal.
Probably.
Yeah, and then we'll be ranking them, which I'm excited about, and we'll be announcing our next mini series, if that's what you want to call it, our next collection, our next discography, which we didn't even tell what this podcast is at the beginning again. You want to time travel? I'll time travel us, and I'll do the intro later. And then they'll hear this part. What were you going to ask me?
I was just going to say, what have you been doing, bro?
Same old,
Yeah.
Yeah, the days are pretty similar. Basically eating whatever like crap you have left over in the fridge and waiting for 5 days later when your clicker list is ready at the grocery store, because you don't want to go in. But what about you?
I've been playing a lot of Luigi's Mansion 3.
Oh, yeah.
It's good, man. You should get a Switch.
I've been playing The Witness, which is an Xbox
yeah.
game. Do you know that game?
No.
It's for download only, so there's no like physical copies of it, but it's like a puzzle game.
Yeah.
It's unique. I'm not far enough in it yet. I mean, I definitely know what's going on, but I don't think I'm far enough in it to say whether it's great or not. But the reviews were good, so that's what I've been doing.
Have you been playing every day?
Yeah, pretty much. Not for very long all the time, but yeah, every day.
Yeah. Bye.
Right.
Get wet.
Bye.
Bye.
Get wet. Oh, wait. Let me give it some volume.
Bye.
Bye.
I got a story. The story once was told. Two young boys going to the liquor store where they sold their souls. And I got a story. A story once was told. Two young boys going to the liquor store where they sold their souls. Hey, yeah. Oh, wah, wah, wah. And I got a story. A story once was sold. Two young boys going to the liquor store where they sold their souls. And I got a story. Story once was sold. Two young boys going to the liquor store where they sold their souls. Hey, yeah. Oh, wow, wow, wow.
The second Sam logs in, I'm kicking it off. And then we'll run into some audio issues that I'll have to edit out later. Such is life. That was a test.
1, 2.
Oh, yeah, it's working. He'll be like, dude, I can't hear you. I'll be like, fuck you. It's an early morning when I'm recording. Early morning and we're recording. But it's not that early. My fucking asshole neighbor was just driving away to work. There's room for 2 cars, 2 big cars in his front of his house and street parking. And Sam just texted me a question I don't know the answer to. But anyway, back to my neighbor Jeff. He always takes up 2 spots with his stupid truck. Pulls into the middle of the curb between 2 driveways. What a piece of shit. Rumor has it. Actually, I'll just wait until Sam. We want this on the actual recording, probably. Sam's having trouble logging in now. Can I send you the link? Jesus Christ. Jesus titty fucking Christ. Oh boy, we have T-minus 48 minutes to get this done. That is not good. Oh boy. Can you hear me? You gotta turn your mic on, son. Maybe I need to unmute you.
Hello?
Oh, yeah, now.
Hello?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Excellent. Here we go.
1 second.
What? Audio test.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, Google. Set alarm for 8 a.m.
1, 2, 3.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, I'm audio testing. Say something again.
Chickadee hoo-ha.
Chickadee hoo-ha. What? Just kidding. Okay.
Ugh. Are we starting too late?
It'll be tight. Here we go. So I'm rolling right into it.
All right.
1, 2,
Hold
3.
on. No, wait, I gotta say something first. The date. Oh, always with the deep breath in. The date is October 27th, 2017. The album is Weezer's Pacific Dream. Oh God. The date is October 27th, 2017. The album is Pacific Daydream from Weezer. This is the Wet Bandits
1,
podcast.
2, 3.